All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Ephraim. Today's date is January 2nd, 2023. If you listen to the sound of my voice, that means you were blessed to see not only another day, but another year. And for that, all praise, honor, and glory is due to the Most High God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, everyone, welcome. Oh man, we got a whole bunch of new subscribers. I appreciate you all for continuing to comment on the videos and like and engage. The shorts have really been picking up, man. It's really been driving the subscribers up. And with that said, for those of you who don't really know me or know the channel like that, well, first of all, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell and select all. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a new presentation. All right, let's not rely totally on YouTube to send the notifications, because I've heard sometimes people, subscribers still just aren't getting them. So um, let's continue to do that. And let me just give you a brief synopsis on what the channel is about. I decided, maybe last part of last year, that first of all, this is the Hebrew Online Learning Institute. So here you're gonna be taught lessons as it relates to the children of Israel and DNA, genetics, and you're going to get some in-depth Bible study. You're going to get some Black history, not the Black history that you're used to getting, but the Black history that really gets talked about. I want to give shine to a lot of stories. There's a lot of stories out there that have not been told. You're going to get inspiration and encouragement, especially I do that a lot with my shorts. With our clips from Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, whoever, just to inspire and help uplift our people. You're going to get entertained. You're going to laugh. I'm real big on music, so you're going to get some of that. You're going to get some funny stuff. I just decided to just kind of touch on everything, to be the kind of one-stop shop for everything. Not too many channels can say that, what I'm doing. So, and if you go through my 300 something odd videos, you'll see, man, my content is like no other really on YouTube. Because I didn't want to be boring. I want to teach my people. Yeah, I want to reach the children of Israel. I want to, reach even the Christian and the Muslim brothers and sisters who are still lost, or whatever the case may be. And, reach, you never know who's listening, basically is what I'm saying. So I want to just kind of touch on a little bit of everything, and for those of you who don't know my history, back in the day, I was a 5%er. Right, I went from that to then I took my Shahada and I was a Sunni Muslim. So I'm a man that's in a very unique position to speak about the things that I speak about, especially being a child of Israel, coming into who I am and who I know Black people to be. So anyway, with that all being said, I just want to say everybody welcome. You can just enjoy you can expect the best content, covering everything, man, from sports to entertainment to teaching to Bible study to DNA and genetics. I mean, everything. I got you covered, man. I leave no stone unturned. So how can you lose with that, right? So this is the one stop show. So make sure you subscribe, and you won't be missing out on any great presentations. Now today, what I wanted to kind of start out the new year with is essentially, and I've mentioned this before. First of all, let me say before I forget her name. This lady, her name is Wh1te, and she's a white lady, but she's always been very truthful and honest about Black history and Black issues. I mean, the real Black history, the things that our ancestors went through. After the transatlantic slave trade, we got here to North America. How things were, what happened, etc. Well, she did an interview, man. The interview was timeless because I think it was about 10 years ago, man. And because she's not in great health at all. I think she might have had a stroke. She can't really speak well now. This interview is a classic. She was interviewed by the sister at the Race Relations Institute at Fisk University in Memphis, Tennessee. And she basically laid out how the seeds of oppression were planted, how the seeds of fear and doubt were planted, and how even to this day our people are basically feeling the effects of Stockholm syndrome. And for those of you who aren't familiar with that term, Stockholm syndrome is basically where a bunch of people or a person is kidnapped and fed propaganda and fed stuff and fed false information for so long, they actually start to empathize with their oppressor. That's called that phenomenon is called Stockholm syndrome. And I submit to all of you, our people are still feeling the effects of many, many, many years of being fed false information, misinformation, and propaganda to the point where you can't even straighten our people out that all the lies we've been taught and told. One of the biggest ones that we were from the bloodline of Ham, and I proved that to be one of the biggest lies from our people. Matter of fact, Ham became the progenitor of the dark races in Africa, but not the Negroes. That would be us. That would be the people that went into slavery during the transatlantic slave trade. I got many videos on that, so check that out. I got a lot of videos, y'all. So y'all, when y'all got some time, just go through and click on them, man, and stream them. I mean, it costs you nothing. A lot of information, a lot of entertainment, just everything. Check them out. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this interview with Miss Pharrell Winfrey, and how the seeds were planted and exactly how it was done, and then I'm gonna come back with the rest of my commentary and in the presentation.
The reality is, and see, this is something that bothered me when I left the church out of frustration, because I wasn't hearing these things. Because the Bible tells us what Jesus looked like when he walked here. The Bible tells us what he's going to look like when he comes back. We have taken that and changed it. One of my grandchildren, when he was about 8 years old, I have a black nativity in my home that I put out at Christmas. And he had been there several times, and all of a sudden one day he brings me the baby Jesus. And he says, "Mama, this is not right." And I said, "What's not right?" He said, "This is not right, Mama." Now this is a child that every time he's with me, he gets lessons in this. My son says to the point to where he has to deprogram them when he gets them back home. This child knows where my heart is. This child, but this is not right, Mama. What's wrong? Tell me. Jesus wasn't black. Jesus was white. Who told you that? And then we have this great conversation. I tell them it's not something you have to go back and fight. You don't have to go, because I don't want them beaten down until they're strong enough to know for what they believe, But I want him to know the truth. I said, in your mind, in your heart, know. Do you remember when Jesus went to Egypt? He hid in Egypt. The people in Egypt, honey, they're not white people. How could he hide there? See, so that we've done that. We've given your people a God that looks like me, so that you don't have any qualm about bowing down to me. See, because this is the image of God. I don't know of any sin that we've committed that's greater than that one. And we did it with the Bible in our hands when we were beating your ancestors for looking at us eye to eye. And we're quoting to them from this scripture. Even if we allowed them to have their own ministers, which there wasn't many of because we didn't allow them to read. But if we said, okay, you can have your church. This is my plantation. I'm going to do what I want with it. You can have your church. But then spies were sent. And those spies would stand outside the church, and that man would be beaten, perhaps killed, if he preached anything other than 3 sermons. And those 3 sermons were turn the other cheek, obey your master, and It's going to get better one of these days. God's going to take care of all of it. You're going to be in a happy, happy land. So put up with what you're putting up with now. And we made your people preach that to your people. And it's still being done. It's still being done. Those are the sermons that your people hear. Those sermons are what causes your people to comfort me when I do something that's wrong.
And there you have it, my people. Miss Winfrey said she don't know of any sin that was greater than that, man. I mean, listen, may the Most High have mercy on her, man, and and keep her and strengthen her, for her sheer honesty and straightforwardness. I mean, and she's just one of many. People who don't look like us, who they basically have no problem with telling the truth, man. I mean, speaking truthfully about things. And I just really respect and appreciate her honesty. I got a few videos about other Gentiles that look like her, basically telling the truth about, what happened to us and who we are and, all these different types of things. And, listen, man, the truth will set you free. You can, I say it all the time. I've been saying this for the past going on 8 years now. You can say whatever out of your mouth. That doesn't make it true. You can believe whatever. That doesn't make it true, right? Like you can't go into a court of law telling them what you think or what you believe. You got to go into a court of law and show and prove what you're talking about, okay? Because or else what? It's going to get thrown out. So I mean, I say that all the time. So I appreciate Miss Winfrey in that interview, and she broke it down. I mean, man, just beautifully. I mean, to this day, man, our people are walking remnants of that seed planting right there. The so-called false image of Christ. You can't straighten our people out that's not his image. I mean, it's work to a charm, man. It's work to a charm. The scripture that comes to my mind speaking about that is the scripture that says, I think it's Psalms 83:4. It says, "Come, let us cut them off from being the nation, that the nation of Israel will be no longer in their remembrance." I mean, that's to this day, that's us. That's if you want to just kind of mix us down to one particular thing, it's that right there. Majority of our people have no idea who they really are. And I'm gonna just end on this note, man. To you, the brothers and sisters that's new to the channel, this may be a shock to you, but you, my brothers and sisters, are the lost children of Israel. You've been lied to all these years of who you are and where you came from. We are the people of the Bible. We are the people of the book. We are the seeds of Jacob, of Israel. Okay, our DNA matches no other nation on earth. That is a genetic fact. Most High God raised me up 8 years ago 8 years ago to bring this information forth to you. So we don't just have a belief in who we are by scripture, but now we have genetic DNA proof of who we are. There's no other dark race or nation of people on earth that possesses the DNA of the people, the Negroes that went into slavery during the transatlantic slave trade. And that is a genetic fact. We are not indigenous to North America. I can't speak for any other black people, but Israelites are not indigenous to North America. We are not indigenous to any land except where we were when we were after our exodus out of Egypt over there in what they call Jerusalem, Zion, Canaan, ancient Canaan, now Israel. Y'all get the picture. That's where we're from. So I can't speak for any other black people, but Israelites are not indigenous to North America. I mean, why would you even want to be? What does that even mean? So anyway, on that note, man, this is the first video of the new year. Hopefully, I got many, many more coming. Like I said, it's a whole lot of great content on the site, man. Y'all keep, streaming them and commenting and engaging. I appreciate you all, but just remember, be respectful. I don't care about different ideas and different opinions, but just be respectful, okay? Don't disrespect anyone and don't threaten anyone. And this will be a nice, safe, great environment for everyone to come and just have fun and learn and be entertained at the same time. All right. So that being said, I appreciate you all and hope you have a prosperous rest of your day. Until next time, this is Dr. Ephraim signing off, saying Shalom, elect.